Good evening. I'm Garry Tregidga. I'm the candidate for MK, the party for Cornwall, standing in the Cornwall Council elections on the 1st of May for this constituency of Roche and Bugle. All of us, I think, should actually ask, if we think about who's going to stand for council, who is the person who's already committed to the community? Who is the person who's already actually able to actually hit the ground running? All too often, politicians from all parties come into a community. They actually promise the earth, they'll say that they'll listen, they'll actually make pledges, they'll tell the tale to the voter. As soon as the election has come and gone, we never see them, and that includes people actually elected to office. I would like to think that I'm different. I'm actually committed to this community. I've spent my life in this area. In fact, I've got connections to this particular parish and also to the parish of Trevurban going back centuries. But it's not just about the past, it's about a commitment to the present. I'm involved in the cultural life of the area, I'm involved in the community life of the area. As a Trevurban Parish Councillor, I also represent the area on the Community Area Partnership covering the Clay Country. So I've got a feeling of how this all works. One of the key things, however, that I think I would actually like to do is to try to get a system whereby ordinary people are actually participating in this. As I said earlier, all too often people actually use the election. They're invited to actually put their cross for 4 years. Democracy means more than that. It's about participating in the system. It's about changing the system. So, as a first step, I would actually like to bring in regular monthly constituency surgeries, go into the various villages, places like Roche, Bugle, Whitemore, Locking Gate. But I would also like to link them up to civic forums, working with the parish councils in this area. The reason for that is I feel in order to move things forward, we need to actually get a focus on issues. We need to actually get a focus on issues, whether it's environment, whether it is actually in relation to travel, transport, etc. One thing that we don't actually get is joined up thinking from Cornwall Council. And I think that's what's needed by actually bringing in a mechanism like that, whereby the community itself comes together to take control of the politics of the area. I think by bringing those people together, we can actually do so much together. That means actually putting a focus on a particular village. How can we actually turn it into a good neighbourhood for change? There are so many problems, whether it's antisocial behaviour, whether it's litter collection, whether it's actually attracting funding to an area, whether it's actually addressing the problem of public transport. All that needs to be done. So we need an integrated plan for all the various parts of the area. Now, that is obviously what I intend to do, but I think it's even more essential in the current climate. Due to the incompetence of both central government and local government, we're in a situation where Cornwall Council is faced with a debt of £1.3 billion. Not million, but £1 billion. That's partly down to the activities of Cornwall Council itself, but it's also down to the fact that over the past 13 years, we've seen central government investment actually reduced by 40%. So put together that, and it's no wonder that we were actually in debt. We need to address a situation whereby our council tax is increased year in, year out by the maximum amount. But at the same time, services are being cut. So in those circumstances, in order to actually address improvements for the community, you need somebody who's going to actually fight for you. I've actually spent the past 20 to 25 years having dealings with Cornwall Council, and I feel that I can actually stand up to this area. Stand up to this area and deliver. It's going to be tough. We are going to be facing tough times. Our council could go bankrupt over the next year. So we need to come together as a community. It's no good to actually have a slanging match. It's no good to actually see politics resulting in sort of like insult. And instead, I think we need a new model for democracy. But we need someone else. We need the power to do something. If we're not careful in Cornwall, we're going to end up being administered by Exeter. This idea has already been put forward in terms of devolution. We need a kind of a clear message out for the next council that Cornwall actually needs to address its own concerns, its own issues, its own problems. That means that we need to actually ensure that jobs stay in Cornwall, administrative jobs, rather than flowing out to, say, Exeter or Plymouth, or further beyond. We also need real democracy so that people can participate in this system. But we also need to do something else, I feel. We need to address the housing problem. You can't build yourself out of a problem by building. Yes, we need to actually address the need, the fact that so many people struggle to actually get on the housing ladder. That's a problem that we're faced with. But building doesn't solve the problem. Over the past 20 years, we've actually spent and built housing to the level of 60,000 new houses. There are more to come, but at the same time, you've got over 23,000 homeless households in Cornwall. You've got 35,000 empty properties. We need to ensure that housing is based on local need, and that we at the same time actually address the amenity problem. So it's all very well building, but building doesn't create communities. Where are the amenities? Where are the doctor's surgeries? Where are the pharmacies in this area and throughout Cornwall? This is a problem we need to address. In order to do that, vote Mebyon Kernow on the 1st of May.